This is such an exciting time as we're heading into year 2 of Move. If you're new to Lakeland, you might be wondering, what's Move all about? Well, Move is a generosity initiative to fund some strategic steps that we felt God was calling us to move into. The concept of move, it's taken from Exodus 14:15, and this is what it says. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on." Now, what's happening here is the Israelites have just escaped from Egypt and the oppression of Pharaoh, and now they're running for their lives, and Pharaoh changes his mind. He's chasing them down. And so now here they are backed up against the Red Sea, and they're crying out to God to save them. Yet God's response is, "Why are you crying out to me? Just move on." So God has already showed up in huge ways in the lives of the Israelites. And while yes, there's this massive hurdle in front of them, God's response is just move. It's like he's saying, "I brought you this far. Why are you stopping? Just move." Move for us, it's all about this mindset, recognizing that God has brought us this far, and he's going to continue to go with us as we take another step with him as we move. For us, we feel called to move, and there's some strategic moves that the Lord has been laying on our hearts, really for a couple of years now. We felt called that we're to move into 3 areas specifically. The first one is to move a generation. Now, when we say that, what we're talking about is our next gen ministry here at Lakeland, which for us, it's birth to 18. Now, here's why that group matters. Statistics tell us that 2/3 of people who come to trust Jesus as their Savior or start a relationship with God do it before the age of 18, which means reaching the next gen while they are still young is incredibly important. The way that we're stepping into this with Move is with our next gen remodel. Our kids have always had kind of secondary spaces designed with secondary dollars. And we wanted to rectify this by building out strategic spaces for each age and stage. During year 1 of Move, we actually stepped into this and we're nearing completion of those spaces. And it's so excited to see them coming together. The second area that we felt called to move into is to move a community. This is all about making a greater impact with our local community and other nearby communities. It's about being a better and more intentional witness. Acts 1:8 says this, "Be my witnesses to the ends of the earth." And we want to do whatever we can to be a good witness in our communities. We wanted to put dollars toward reaching our communities by doing 2 things really. First, building Lakeland Park, which will be one of the largest indoor play areas in our county to serve not only our church, but families in our community. And second, we wanted to put dollars toward planning towards potential future sites in the form of church mergers. This is about looking to make an impact in another community through merging with another church. Sometimes smaller or maybe stalled out churches, but strategically moving into another community to take what God is doing here and bring it there. And then the third area is to move a culture. This is all about putting dollars toward reaching people in the digital space. We've been stepping into this very intentionally with improving our online church experience as well as church in virtual reality, aka VR. We're one of the first churches to launch a church in VR, and we are one of 3 to now have our own world in VR and a specific staff member dedicated to VR. And it's been so exciting to be able to reach people all over the world in a virtual world. Now, if you've been around this past year, you've probably seen that we've started some of our Move projects, and others are just really months away from completion. And as we're headed into Move, we were hoping we could accomplish all of this for about $2 million above and beyond our normal budget over a 2-year period of time. Of course, you're fully aware of the economic culture right now. Everyone's felt it. Inflation is real, gas prices are still high, and most everything costs more than it did a couple years ago. And I don't think it will shock you when I say the same thing is true for our Move projects. Our next gen remodel that we had really hoped to pull off for $1 million is going to cost us closer to $1.3. Lakeland Park that we'd hoped to do for about $500,000 will cost us closer to $700,000. The point is, due to inflation, the price tags have gone up. And so while there was over $1.5 million given to Move during year 1, and that's huge, here's the big question. What's it going to take for us to hit our goal in year 2? Well, we're likely going to need another $1 million to come in during year 2 to complete our projects. So while we're over halfway there toward our financial goals, we still have a ways to go. But one thing I know about Kingdom Impact is this. It's always the sweetest when we all move together. It's all of us taking steps forward. When we move together, we can make this impact. We can move a generation, move a community, and move a culture. So I'm asking you to pray about your involvement in year 2 of Move. How's God calling you to step into Move and step into generosity for the mission? We're praying that 100% of us who call Lakeland home would choose to commit to Move. And we're going to take another step into the water, just like Moses. Would you join us for year 2 of Move? Would you move with us?